Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our old friend Jamie Lee Curtis.
Did you know Jamie Lee Curtis's father hates her? This actress is a queen, not the Buckingham Palace kind, but still royalty nonetheless. The actress, despite the difficulties she's faced, rose to become one of the most popular faces in Hollywood, fell in love in the strangest manner, and won prestigious awards. Unfortunately, the actress became a victim of Hollywood beauty standards, and it pushed her to a dark path that almost destroyed her. Why did her father hate her? What difficulties did she face? How did Hollywood destroy her? And which awards did she win? Welcome back to Vintage Beauties. Jamie the Contradiction. Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing and brilliant, but she's a contradiction. The powerful actress built her career by starring in horror films. She became tied to the genre so much so that she got the nickname Scream Queen. Now, despite her involvement with horror, she hides a secret. She doesn't love horror films at all. Jamie is scared easily, a trait she's carried since childhood. The actress gets easily startled by loud noises, and when a movie's suspense music starts playing, she will run away. How can the Scream Queen not like horror? What an actress! She has a unique approach to things, and by unique, we don't mean completely positive. The actress took a drastic decision simply because of what the legendary cameraman Gordon Willis said about her eyes in the early 1980s while she was on the set of the film Perfect. The comment triggered her insecurities. Curtis didn't feel pretty while she was growing up. Due to the star's mom taking tetracycline when she was pregnant, the actress had gray teeth. This affected the actress's image, so she felt the need to compensate by having a fun personality. She was a cheerleader and was popular. However, this didn't take away her feelings of insecurity. So when that cameraman passed that comment, Curtis went to do plastic surgery for her eyes. Due to that surgery, the actress began to take Vicodin, and this would lead the actress to a path of darkness. Slowly, the actress became addicted to Vicodin, and she began to take it with alcohol. The actress hid her addiction well, but she knew she was on a path that would consume her. Only she could save herself, but she needed that push. The problem was, how would she get it? She didn't want to be the latest actress making the news for having an addiction problem. She was afraid of the tabloids and the vicious paparazzi. She was so sure that she would be exploited if people knew that she had an addiction problem.
This is the addiction issue, but I mean, there are lots of forms of addiction in the universe.
So she decided to keep it a secret. Unfortunately, she wasn't getting better. Then, in 1999, after reading Tom Shirela's account of addiction to the same drug she used, the royal actress found a familiar spirit. She related to Shirela's revelation that he hid his pills around the house. Curtis hid hers in her cowboy boot, a place where no one else could even think to look. This was the wake-up call the actress needed. Another person had recovered, and so she decided no more. She would get better at all costs. In 1999, the actress got into treatment and became sober. To this day, she hasn't tasted alcohol, and despite what she has achieved in her career, including an Oscar, the star called her own recovery the greatest achievement of her life.
You know, that's a big change for me. But I mean, I'm an addict, so I'm in recovery. I'm not recovered, never will be, but I am working on it.
Apart from her recovery, the actress also did a fantastic thing. She got over her insecurities. She grew to the level where she didn't care about what people thought about her looks and completely rejected society's beauty standards. She was well and truly free. In a way, Hollywood preyed on her insecurity and pushed her to pursue perfection, which nearly consumed her. If she hadn't found Tom Shirela's account of addiction, who knows what would have happened? Would the actress eventually have found help, or would she have become lost in her vice? How did she go from such a fun-loving person to a person with an addiction? Let's start from where it all began for her to get answers. Before we do that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel to learn more from Vintage Beauties, Hollywood royalty. Jamie Lee Curtis is Hollywood royalty. She was born on November 22, 1958 in Los Angeles to actors Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. Her father was the irresistible star from Sweet Smell of Success, and her mother was the superstar from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. On the surface, the actress had everything she could ever want. Her parents were superstars and life should be good. Unfortunately, life wasn't smooth for Curtis. When Curtis was 4, they divorced and her father was, quote, not interested in being a father, unquote. He even cut them out of his will. He abandoned her, and could this trauma be part of the reason the actress found reliance on alcohol and Vicodin later on? She did say addiction is a response to trauma, after all. If her father abandoning her is the core reason for her addiction, the actress didn't show signs of it when she was growing up. She was a cheerful kid, had a bubbly personality, and people wanted to hang out with her. However, she had a problem. Curtis was not a model student. The actress loved to read, but she had an issue. Curtis couldn't retain what she read, and as a result, she had to change high schools, moving to 3 in 4 years. Still, she wasn't discouraged. The actress was very much interested in college and had chosen a career that she felt wouldn't require her to be excellent at school. Curtis decided she was going to be a police officer. The legendary horror queen failed to get into college. Her D average plus 840 combined SAT put her at a disadvantage. But just as things looked hopeless, the University of Pacific in Stockton, California admitted her. It was the same college her mother graduated from, and according to the actress, her mother was the most famous person to have ever graduated from there. In college, the actress wasn't the most academic person. She held on to her fun personality and joined a frat. That decision led to some interesting results. What do we mean? Let's dive in. A new path. Jamie went home for Christmas in her first college year. Of course, she was determined to have fun, so she visited a friend who had a tennis court behind her house. It was there that she met Chuck Bender, who brought a suggestion. I'm managing actresses, and they're looking for Nancy Drew at Universal. You should go up for it, he said. Curtis listened to him and went for the Nancy Drew audition. She didn't get the part. Nancy failed, but it wasn't the first time that she would do so. She wasn't ready to give up, and fortunately, Bender wasn't done with her. He told her to stick around for a while as it could pay off for her. All her life, despite being close to Hollywood stars, the actress didn't think she would become one. So now that a manager mentioned it, she wanted to see how far she could go. Besides, it wasn't as if she showed incredible potential in school. Speaking of school, Curtis called to confirm if she could get academic credits for taking a drama class for a month. When she found out she could, she began to audition even more. She attended 100 auditions and nothing came up. Then she saw an opportunity, a relic from the Hollywood golden ages. She auditioned to become a studio actress just like Marilyn Monroe and the other big stars were. She was one of the last set of actors that got signed into that system and was receiving around $200 weekly. The actress then dropped out of college and dipped both her legs into getting roles. It was a risk, but it was the kind of risk that the bubbly star could take. She would take an even bigger risk, and we'll show you that later on. We can't help but wonder if she doubted her decision. She wasn't getting any real ones, at least not the kind that would justify leaving college. She got small parts in Quincy M.E. and Columbo, then a bigger role came. She would be in the television series Operation Petticoat, which was based on a 1959 film that starred her father. As it turned out, the actress would wait a while for her big break. She barely got a speaking line per episode, and any potential for more ended when the show got canceled. Curtis was lost. What else could she do to get her big break? Let's show you. Halloween and other films. The actress learned about a role and went through different auditions for it. She did well until it was her against another actress. Curtis claimed that she got the part because her mother was Janet Leigh and her father was Tony Curtis. Truly, she wasn't the director, Tony Carpenter's, first choice. He wanted Anne Lockhart for the role, and since he couldn't get her, he chose the actress for being Leigh's daughter. They believed casting Leigh's daughter would be good publicity for the film since she was the star of Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film Psycho. Curtis was spectacular in Halloween, and the film went on to make $47 million during its initial theatrical run, making it one of the most profitable movies in history based on initial investment. Finally, she was now a star, but unfortunately, her star quickly dimmed. She still couldn't get jobs. When she did get work, they were all roles in horror genre. She took all of them and starred in Prom Night and The Frog. When the producers of Halloween wanted a second part for the film, she hopped on into it. As a result, the actress became a new type of royalty. She became the Scream Queen. Curtis didn't just want to be the scream queen, so when roles came that were different from horror, she took them. She didn't care that they were on the small screen. The legendary actress showed that she could act in a drama with her titular role in Death of a Centerfold, the Dorothy Stratton story. In the film, she played a Playboy model who died at the hands of her abusive and controlling husband. She then showed that she could do comedy with the 1983 hit film Trading Places. She starred alongside Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy and played a soft-hearted sex worker. Her performance in those two films gave the actress what she wanted: recognition. Unfortunately, she soon suffered a setback. She starred in Perfect opposite John Travolta, and the film was a complete bust. Did she give up? What do you think? The spectacular star powered through, and before film success, she found love. While watching This Is Spinal Tap, she saw a picture of the British-American filmmaker Christopher Guest. As she saw him, the actress made an interesting declaration to her friend Deborah Hill. "Oh, I'm gonna marry that guy," she said, and in December of 1984, she did. The couple adopted 2 children from birth, and the actress continued with her career. She starred in the hit comedy A Fish Called Wanda and won a Golden Globe for her performance in the sitcom Anything But Love. Curtis was finally established. She was a Hollywood juggernaut, and not just the lady whose parents were a star. Then she got thirsty for a type of film she had never starred in before: an action film. She starred alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger in the action-adventure romp True Lies, where she played Helen Tasker, a bored housewife who learns her husband is a secret government agent and quickly becomes involved in a deadly terrorist plot. That movie really is fun to watch. It prepared her for the kind of crazy, action, fun movie that got the actress one of the highest honors of acting, but more on that soon. After True Lies, things went silent again for the actress. The extra boost she needed to completely cement herself as a box office magnet just eluded her. Then she decided to take a huge risk. She returned to horror and pitched the idea for Halloween H2O 20 years later. The producer loved the idea and greenlit the film. The critics hated the film and panned, but the audience trooped to the cinemas for the movie, and in the end, it made $75 million from a $17 million budget. She was then featured in a couple of films that were box office successes. However, it was time for the actress to tap out. She reduced the amount of work she did so she could focus on her family. She became a baroness when her husband inherited Baron Hayden Guest's title when his father died. Curtis is now triple royalty, but who's counting? As much as she tried to resist, the call of the screen was too much for the actress to ignore, and she returned in 2012. She slowly climbed the ladder back to where she was before her semi-retirement and became a part of a star-studded cast in the first part of Knives Out. As successful as that film was, it would be her role as an IRS inspector, Deidre Beaubadre, in Everything Everywhere All at Once that would give her her first Oscars in 2023. Not everyone was happy for the actress, as they felt she didn't deserve it. Have you watched the film? Do you also feel the same? The controversy around her Oscar win aside, the actress has achieved legendary status in Hollywood, even without the Oscars. Despite her passion for acting, she branched to other ventures. She wrote children's books and even was a spokesperson for Activia yogurt. She simply is beyond amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis had many reasons to give up. She also had reasons not to start, as she was poor with retaining information. Still, she did, and not only did she do well, she surpassed every manner of expectation. Do you think she can still win more awards? Let us know what you think in the comments and subscribe to this channel for more.